All right, so it's been a while. Could be just moments for you watching these videos. But for me, it's been a while while I waited for the contractor to get back and explain to me what they liked and didn't like. And the overall was okay, but uh, he did say that he wanted a more open kitchen, bigger spaces. And he wanted a more open flow of the floor plan so we could kind of go from space to space. He did want a formal dining room, which is the opposite of open. Okay. And he said, let's move the stairs closer to the front door. That makes sense. And that would make the foyer smaller. So you can see on the screen kind of what I was thinking about. I'll take the kitchen and put it over here. Laundry room will be here, still won't have a window. And then the back hall lab will be here. He did say that this was okay. So I'll make the back hall, and the closet will be smaller and the hall will be here. That'll allow me to expand these two spaces, and he wants everything to be more open space to space. I'm not sure if that'll be enough changes, but that's going to be the next step. All right, so I'm taking a previous version. I actually thought that maybe he would want it more or less open. So I tried to put this scheme in there, but I didn't get very far with it. Then I just decided to keep, well, I didn't decide, but I just ended up working on other projects. So this is what I'm taking. This is going to be called version version 5. So project 5 is the version now. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the easy stuff. First, I'm going to do some turning off of some elements because they'll just get in the way for now. So VG for visibility graphics, type the letter F, that'll get me down to the floor. And I'm just going to turn the floor off. I don't need to see that right now. Because it'll just, I can fix the floors later. So what did I say? I have to grab that sketch again. Grab that and drag it over to another screen. So I have a look at both of what I'm thinking about doing in the sketch and then what I'm actually doing. Okay, so let's see. I think I want to move this first. So if I take this wall and move it down 2 feet, all right, so I'm going to have some problems. I'm unjoining some elements. And then I'm going to take this wall and move it down 2 feet. It's going to make that back hall closet smaller. So that would be an issue that I would want to address if this concept even works. But I started out with something pretty simple. I'm going to use the align tool right here just to line up the back of the shelf above. And it looks like the shelf above here is not quite lined up. All right, so now I have my back hall closet. It's still a walk-in. I still have the same hall distance because I moved that 2 feet and I moved that 2 feet. All right, and so let's just grab some of this and see if I can just move it. I'll put it back together later. I got some constraints that I have to remove and elements I have to unjoin and elements that I have to delete. Okay, but I basically have that there. And I have these, which are generic models. So I'm going to VG, G for generic models, and I'll turn those off too. Those are those paintings that are on the wall there. I don't have to deal with those right now. So I'm going to grab, or try to grab all of these things and move them over to there. Remove the constraints. Okay, so I'll be able to go back and put most of these things back in someplace else, in a different location according to the new sketch. Now the stairs are the big deal, and I don't really need this railing here, so I'm going to delete it. Let's see now the stairs. Let's see if I just grab the entire stairs and move them from here to here. And then I'm going to rotate them 90 degrees. And there's some kind of a reference in there. We'll get rid of that. What happened here? Okay, yeah, now that's, I said I wanted to put the stairs over here. So let's say that I use the trim extend tool to clean that up. And then what's this line? It's a model line, it's a room separator. Let's turn those off for now. So we'll come over here and I'll say hide category. So all of my room separators are still there. I'm not going to delete them because then I'll just get a bunch of error messages that I don't need to deal with right now. So I need minimum of 5 feet. So I'll say create similar, put a wall down here. This is supposed to be my back hall lab, and I want that to be 5 feet wide. So I'll click on that, 5 feet. And now I know where I want my stairs to be, but I don't know what my width is here. So let's measure that. This is wall. You know what? It doesn't matter what it is. I'll just grab this wall and drag it back to there. Whatever element was joined. This I don't need at all right now. Well, I've lost a room, but that's okay. Won't be the first one for this modification. All right, so I'm going to move. Rabbit wants to know, where do you want to move it from? So I want to move it from this corner right here, which is the stringer, to this corner right here, which is the intersection of the gypsum board. So my stringers are still inset. And the big question is, how much distance do I have from this last riser over to there? And I would say that 4'8" is enough to work. Okay. Now, remember that okay, so that's something I didn't notice, but I don't think that's a big deal. This is going to have a little. All right, let's see. Let's pull this guy back to here. Unjoin the elements. And then, and delete an instance. I think that was the archway that doesn't work anymore. Then I'm going to put this align this wall. I don't want it to be that thick wall. Once it gets up here, and I'm still going to leave this wall here. So we'll create similar, and we'll come right here and come straight across like that. Okay, that looks good. And then this wall, yeah, that's wall's going to stay there. Okay, and then these things need to move over a little bit. Yeah, let's start. So, well, my pantry could and maybe should jog over and go back to where it was before. So what's the best way? I guess copy from here over to here. Yep, okay. So I'll grab this wall and just drag him back. Okay. And then I guess I will see what I have here. See, I'm grabbing the floor now because I have it turned off. So it makes it easier. Oops, what did I just do? I want to move these things. So I don't want to move the wall. So let's use the filter and uncheck walls. So I'm not selecting the wall anymore. And now I want to move this guy from here to here. For now, I'm going to pull it back, but not quite yet. All right, and then I'll clean this wall up right here. What am I doing here? All right. My arches anymore. Doors are still here. Okay, well, anyway, this guy's got to come down, so I'll drag him down. And I'm going to unjoin the elements, and I guess my arch is gone. That was the element that the message said. Okay, so I have this little jog in here. This guy isn't helping me out any. Take these, take them all, and I'm holding the control key down to select that as well. And I'm going to move all of this stuff move. I'd like to pick a corner or something. Not sure why I'm not getting that to happen. Move. There we go. From here to here. All right. So that gave me a little extra space in the kitchen, and that won't be an issue. That little jog right there. Okay. So that looks good. This can go back now to here where it was before. Yeah, that looks good. So now I'm going to change this, maybe not have, maybe still have that, maybe not. I did have it in the old kitchen. I made this a peninsula here, which might be an issue, but you know, if I make 4 feet off of that, I can add 2 feet to that. Yeah, okay, so let's say that works. Now this part I don't need at all. That was from another project that I thought might work well here. What do we have here? Planting. VG, P for planting, takes me right down to planting, and I don't need to see any kind of planting right now, but I don't want to delete it because, okay, so now what I was thinking was that this wall would stay back here and then come around like that. Okay, so what's this? Under counter lighting, maybe? Casework of some sort. Casework 8. You know, I'm curious about it. I shouldn't have to worry about it right now, but I'm just curious. I'll just put a camera in there. Show me what that is. Casework. Well, I definitely don't need that. Oh, that's my casework 8. It is, it's an extrusion for the cooktop. So if I made this consistent colors, might show it a little bit better. Now let's do it realistic. And that'll show that it's that green marble, which I don't need to keep an extrusion. I can, although that may be, I might just move it back. If I was working and not doing a tutorial right now, I would go to this trouble. All right, so you can see it's the green marble. I don't need that anymore. But let's see if I can move it back. If I just pick it and I'll move it back 2 feet. There we go. So it's on the wall, but it should be over here. So it might be easier to just redraw it. But anyway, I'll leave it there for now. Okay, all right. And what else do we need to do? Okay, so the laundry room goes up here. Grab this wall. Really like just putting a puzzle together. It's always a good idea to save the project. This time it wasn't an inconvenient time, but often it does come at an inconvenient time. So I want the face of the gypsum board to line up with the riser. And I am going to have a wall there. So I'll come over and trim extend this guy and this guy. And you can see what's going on here is my riser is recessed into the, I'm sorry, my stringer is recessed into the wall. But my treads are still exposed, which is fine. That's what they should be. You should be able to see the treads. All right, a little weirdness happening right here. I'm not sure what that is exactly. I'm not too concerned at this point. Okay, so now I can bring my powder room over here and my laundry room over here. This wall I don't need. I do need this wall to continue up. Just wonder if the powder room got a little bit better. If the laundry room got a little bit better. This might wonder if I just got a little bit more space in the laundry room. So this guy I don't need anymore. All right, so I'll pull him back over to there. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, having trouble with the rooms. I want this wall. Did I move this? Because I do want this wall to come across to there. Okay. And this wall doesn't. I'm going to trim extend. I still think of it as fillet, but I think the proper terminology would be trim extend. So I'm going to align these two walls. All right, so I think I've pretty much made the basic changes to the point where I can say, yep, I think everything will work that I was thinking about. I can fit my laundry room. Well, let's find out. Did the laundry room get smaller? Because here was one of the cabinets. Let's move that from this corner right here over to, it's not letting me do it. Diagonally, so I'll have to do it in 2 steps. I'll do it from here, straight up. Endpoint. All right, so there's some things that it won't let me move straight up like that. So let's go back and undo that. And what do you suppose? I'm thinking it might be an issue with my countertop. I'm guessing. So I'm going to hide that element, and then I'm going to grab everything else and see if it will let me move everything else. Well, let me move see, it's not letting me move everything else up. So it might not have been the countertop. So this is I believe this is a wall-based object. So all right, so I'm not going to know, but I'm going to just say pick a new host. which would be this wall right here. Up there. And I'll do the same thing. I think there's one here. That's this wall. Okay, those are wall-based objects, and that's maybe why it's not letting me move everything there. Now, I don't know what else would be preventing me, but there might be something else preventing me from moving it. Doesn't look like it. And there's my answer. This wall, this room is not as wide as the laundry room was on this side, but it had an entry door over here, so I didn't have as much counter space on that side. But I will move these guys, see if I can move all of that. That's not what I want to do. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's just going to be more work. So I'm going to come back to this corner right here. And see, it's not letting me go straight up. So there's something else here. Oh, this upper cabinet. Do the same thing. Pick a new host. I can clean up a lot of that stuff. But now I should be able to move everything else. To here. Okay. Now, I knew that I was going to have to move these two guys, but that's okay, I think. Holding the control key down to select them too. I still have a nice distance away from there for the dryer vents, which come out and generally have to do a turn, either up or down. So it's nice to have some space back here in order for that to happen. And then this is my countertop. I can stretch it out to here. And this guy, well, I can just align. I'm doing a lot of extra unnecessary work right now. Because we'll clean all of this stuff up shortly. Yeah, all right. So I can come in here, Let's do that. I don't have any upper cabinets, so maybe I can grab all of this stuff and move it from not letting me pick that endpoint. Move. So it's not picking an endpoint for me. Let's try it one more time. I want to say from where? From here. Okay, very good. Over to, it's going straight. Let's see, what should I do here? Let's just put it right here and then rotate it 90 degrees. There's some kind of reference that I have a problem with. Okay. Oh boy, let's see. I think this is my, I don't know what this is. That's my base cabinet. All right, let's see if I can just grab all of that and move it down. Yep. Base cabinet really goes up against the wall. Okay, got that. Now I'm looking for the toilet, which I can just say create somewhere. Come over here. See, I'm looking at the old powder room. This is definitely a better powder room. This is better laundry room because it has more folding space on the back. And I just need to clean this up. So let's do a create similar. I'd like it to be, oops, wrong side. So my stringer again is buried in there. So this guy doesn't need to be as far across. So I should end up leaving an opening. I lost an opening there is what I'm saying. And for now, I think I'll just bring this guy straight up and trim extend these two. And then I guess I can align. I'll just drag it. Okay. So maybe I don't want, maybe I'll have an archway here. I'll just leave it wide open. I think I'll probably leave it wide open. We could pull this back a little farther to make the powder room feel bigger. I can bring the wall back to here. There's no problem there. All right. That looks good. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the demonstration here. The rest of the cleanup work is not, you don't need to watch that, but the next tutorial will show you what well, let's just make sure there isn't anything else that I would want to show. I guess I really do want to fix this dining room. So let's copy this wall down to here. Now, what's the minimum I could do for a dining room? 14 feet probably is my minimum. So I'll click on this guy. Change that to 14. And then pull him back right into that window. That's not going to happen. But for some reason, I'm not seeing archway. So, all right, so the VG, let's see, turned off my floors. It's not there. I turned off my generic models. It shouldn't be there. Didn't turn off the massing. I turned off the plants. I turned off the rooms. So I'm trying to think that I turned something off. So my first guess would be that the generic models, if I turn those back on, I'll be able to see my archway. And sure enough, there it is. So that was put in as a, so let's see, we'll click on it to see what the properties are. It's 21 feet. Wow, let's make it 12. Let's see if we have a 12 footer here. 14. All right, we'll take the 14. And then I'll take this guy and using the arrow keys, I'm going to move him down. Okay, and then I'll say create similar, and I'm going to put another one over here, but it won't be 14. Make that. I'll make it 10 for now. Let's see what happens when I do that. Still 14. All right, go back and pick it again. That's better. And then using the arrow keys. Okay, so I'll clean that up later, but there's my dining room now. It will have an opening. I guess that got removed in the renovation of the wall areas there. So let's take a look here. That looks good. I'm going to clean that up. And now at this point right now, this space is 30 feet. So I think that'll satisfy the client's desire for things to be a little more open. We've got a formal dining room and a formal great room now, and a butler's pantry, which is nice. And I'll have to fix this because we shouldn't have a peninsula there. And I come in here and then I like that. Well, I can move that down. And then I can extend this wall. This will be where the archway is, and then I'll clean this up by cutting that or breaking it. And then I'll clean this wall and this wall and this one. Yeah, that. Okay, so this is all backhaul stuff. I might as well move this now while I'm at it. Another 2 feet. Whoops. Right. I'll just say create similar. Come over here. And then pull this one back. So this is a much nicer backhaul lab. This is a cabinet that I can be able to use. And I want this to line up with my cabinets. It's a great backhaul lab now, but it was kind of at the expense of, this modification was at the expense of that closet. And so is it better to have a bigger closet and smaller rooms, or is it better to have a smaller closet? Because we have a pretty tight envelope here. All right, so I'm pretty happy with everything I see here. So I'm going to stop this video now, and I'll just clean all of these things up, and then the next video will show all of the things that were cleaned up.